I need everybody to tell me in the comment section why we don't like Monique, the comedian. I need to know what her problem or her crime was. I need to know why in 2024 now, Taraji P. Henson is crying about unfair pay. I need to know why Taraji P. Henson was saying they had trailers with bed bugs. I need to know why the Taraji P. Henson was crying about the fact that there was no food on the set of Color Purple. And she, the Taraji P. Henson, had to give a call to Oprah to ask for basic, decent human treatment on set. Remind me again who we are mad at. We are sympathizing with Taraji, but we are still mad at Monique because Oprah cannot advocate for Black actors. The math is not mathing, or is it just me?
We showed up, we didn't even have any trailers. When we showed up, there was no food. When we showed up, we had to get ourselves to the set. When you hear all of these things, and who was at the helm of this production, James?
Oprah Winfrey.
Okay, so when you hear all of these things, and then you start saying, see, this is the treatment of the Black actress. It's nothing new. It's nothing new that the trailers are subpar. It's nothing new that either the food is subpar or there's no food at all. That's nothing new. So when Oprah Winfrey sits at the helm and Taraji P. Henson says, it's an honor that we were handpicked. We were handpicked for this movie. Well, if they were handpicked for that movie, those women should have been taken care of from the moment go.
Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of our conversations. My name is Ondiro Oganga. I'm a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here talking to you guys about Black people, Africans, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. You can connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga, or you can come over to my YouTube channel. The name of the channel is New Dawn Africa channel, where I profile Africa through people, politics, and culture. Now, today's video is a touchy one. Pardon me if I rub you the wrong way. Pardon me if the video does rub you the wrong way. But then again, don't pardon me. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because I want you to explain to me why we are mad at Monique. Like, technically, why are we angry at her for saying exactly what Taraji was saying, just that she has no paycheck to protect. So she's just saying it as it should be said. Why? Let's take it back. Okay? The first time that I encountered this was when Viola Davis was being interviewed by Women in the World. And I mean, Viola Davis needs no introduction. I first bumped into her artistry through How to Get Away with Murder. And I know I'm so late to the party. She's done amazing work. I was in campus. Don't try to calculate my age. And there's this series, and I see this woman, powerful, strong, broken, Black, but still successful. And I said, oh, actually people like her exist. It's nice because that's actually the visual representation of majority of many women. It wasn't that of a romanticizing of women in Hollywood. This was a Black woman, a woman as we know it. And the way she would walk in her heels and the way she looked and how her hair evolved and how her wardrobe evolved. But one thing stayed consistent: how great of an artist she is. In fact, you remember they used to sell it as Thank God It's Thursday, Kerry Washington, Viola Davis, and what's her name? Grey's Anatomy. What is her name? I know her. Meredith Grey, is that her name? Ellen Pompeo? Okay, guys. Yeah, clearly. I'm not like big on Hollywood, but I know Black actors. So how is it that these women carried a network? And Viola Davis is Viola Davis. I mean, there's no two way about it. That is the queen of Hollywood. She's right up there with the likes of Marilyn Streep. That's her name, right? So why do they have to still hustle for what they've earned in the last 30 years? Let's listen to what Viola had to say about this a while back.
We won't talk about gender inequality of pay because a lot of the women who've stepped forward, and I stand in solidarity with them, okay? What they're getting paid, which is half of what a man is getting paid, well, we get probably a tenth of what a Caucasian woman gets. And I'm number one on the call sheet. And then I have to go in and I have to hustle for my worth. That's what I feel like I'm doing. When I demand what I feel, listen, I have more than a 30-year professional career. I had a friend who said, yeah, but Viola, your career is better than my career. I said, yeah, but you can't compare me to you. Because once again, I got the Oscar, I got the Emmy, I got the 2 Tonys. I've done Broadway, I've done off-Broadway, I've done TV, I've done film, I've done all of it. I have a career that's probably comparable to Meryl Streep, Julianne Moore, Sigourney Weaver. They all came out of Yale. They came out of Juilliard. They came out of NYU. They had the same path as me. And yet, I am nowhere near them. Not as far as money, not as far as job opportunities, nowhere close to it. And yet, I have to constantly get on that phone, and I have fabulous agents, by the way. They are getting it. But I have to get on that phone, and people say, you're a black Meryl Streep. You are, and we love you. We love you. There is no one like you. Okay, then if there's no one like me, you think I'm that? You pay me what I'm worth. You give me what I'm worth. And even in terms of roles, because when I delve into a role, I want something complicated too. I do. Just like building the most unbelievable structure, a sculptor wants to build the most unbelievable building. That's how I feel, that's what I do as a human being, as an artist. I want to build the most complicated human being. But what I get is the third girl from the left.
Guys, as if Viola is not enough. Most recently, while the cast of The Color Purple were doing the media tours, we saw the tears of the Taraji P. Henson. And this is the most heartbreaking thing, because also Taraji is an OG in the industry. She's done movies, she's done film. She's done it all. She actually has done it all. She's done television series that have done extremely well. She's been there, done that. Why is she in tears thinking of quitting Hollywood? She went on in an interview to say that Tyler Perry was the first person to pay her $500,000 for a role. Now it looks like it's $500,000, but once Uncle Sam takes his 50%, $250. Taraji P. Henson, over 30 years experience, $250. And people almost wanted her to be grateful. I don't think she raised it to be grateful. I think she brought that point up to show the inequality in the industry. That it took a Tyler Perry movie to pay her not what she's worth, the highest she's ever been paid, which was $500,000. But we're so slow as a people. We're like, yay, be grateful, scarcity mentality. What is she to be grateful for? 30 years? 30 years, yet she knows that her counterparts in the industry make 10 times, 20, 30 times. Mediocre white actors will get that at the beginning of their career. At the peak of her career, that's what we want her to be grateful for. It doesn't stop there. She says for her role as Cookie Lion, Terrence Howard did not have to audition, but she had to audition for the role. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Are you seeing where I'm going with this? And as if it's not enough, she says her manager called her, saying she's being tapped for Shugs, the role in The Color Purple. So it means that the Color Purple crew, or the casting crew, yes, probably they did auditions, but they already knew the kind of people, the caliber of artists that they had in mind that they wanted, right? They had a budget of about $100 million. So you want Taraji, but you just want Taraji, that's it. You don't want to pay her, you don't want to provide a safe working environment, you don't want to make her comfortable. And I was just thinking, can this be done to some of the women from other communities in Hollywood? Would they even entertain it? But then, because opportunities are very hard to come by for Black actors, even at the top, Still, great opportunities are hard to come by because Viola Davis said until today, she wants to play roles that have depth, means something, but she's still the third girl on the left. Viola Davis. So when you get these opportunities, no matter how hard they are, you take it in. You say, it's okay, these are just a couple of challenges, adapt, adapt, adapt. But then for how long? 30 years in, you're still adapting? 30 years in, you don't have a driver after spending 12 to 15 hours on set? 30 years in, your trailer has bugs? 30 years in, there's no food on set? Make it make sense to me. Like, this doesn't make sense. 30 years in, you're still breaking down in tears because you don't think that you've earned your worth in the industry. And maybe that's why you also have to keep working and hustling, despite the fact that probably those hustle years, the age, the time is behind you because the body keeps scores. I don't see Ellen Pompeo selling stuff, or I don't see Meryl Streep selling, because they do a job for which they're well compensated for. I was listening to Claudia Jordan and she was saying she did a movie, I think, for Tubi, and their budget was 6-figure, not 100 million. Yet they had drivers, they had food, they had clean trailers, they were treated well. And so when this news broke, I think it took the shine from The Color Purple and everybody began talking about it. And there have been very many takes, which is okay. Again, like I always say, I'm a big believer of conversation, because then we get to know where we are as a society and how to move forward. And one of the people at the center of that conversation is Oprah. And she came to her defense saying, when you called me about it, I fixed it. Now, one side might say, good job, Oprah. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. But what about the school of thought that says, why did it even happen in the first place? How low do we think of Black actors? How low do we treat them? How little do we think of them that we cannot even provide them with the basic minimum unless they ask? You don't know water? I don't think you'll be thirsty, but in case you get thirsty, you can ask me for water. Are you seeing what I mean? I mean, you're coming to work, you'll be working for 12 days, I get it, or 14 days, but 14 hours, but I'm not going to give you food. In case you're hungry, search yourself, swallow your saliva, that sort of thing. Here's a car you can drive yourself after 12 to 14 hours on set. Be grateful we got you a car, because you'd be Ubering or, search yourself. How low have we sunk as Black people? And I know, like, to be a billionaire, you really need not to care about people. Like, you genuinely don't need to care, but you're already a billionaire and you have so much money that you will never be able to spend in this lifetime. And you said, Elon Musk doesn't pretend that he cares about the well-being of people. He sells these cars, he does whatever he wants to Twitter, and that's okay, X. But if you say you're for the Black community, trying to build a Black community and change things for them, walk the talk. Seriously, walk the talk. And now this video could put me in problems because one day I might find myself in Hollywood, but then I'm not the kind of person to compromise who I am. And maybe one day I might grow and my thinking might change and evolve. But where I'm at now, it just doesn't sit right with me that you're taking credit for the fact that they had to ask for food, for drivers, for safety on set, for proper remuneration. Oprah herself knows this too well. I think she told the story of how she was being underpaid when she was a TV host. She knows damn too well about this. And Black women are not in these rooms as costumes or placeholders. You're advocates. And not advocates when the roof is already leaking and you're sealing the loopholes. Advocates when the roof is being built. That's why people support you people to get to those places. And imagine if it's Taraji talking about these things. Imagine the up and coming actors, what they have to deal with. And then we're mad at Monique. We're mad at Monique. Come on, you guys. No. On this one, I'm not with you guys. I'm not mad at Monique. Now, Monique might have her own agenda and vested interest, but two things can coexist and two things can be true. Just the way we are saying it's great that Oprah spoke, but it's not great that she had to wait for things to go sideways for her to speak. Monique can be a problematic individual, and by problematic, you mean she stood for what she believed in. Oh my God, did you see that interview between Monique and Steve Harvey, where she was talking to Steve Harvey and Steve was like, I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to go hungry just to stand beside you for a worthy cause. About 10 years ago, the same issues are coming up. Taraji is crying about them today. Unless Black people are willing to pay the price. Change is not cheap. Change is not cheap. So I don't know why we're all mad at Monique. But anyway, you listen to what she had to say, then let me know.
We showed up, we didn't even have any trailers. When we showed up, there was no food. When we showed up, we had to get ourselves to the set. When you hear all of these things, and who was at the helm of this production, James?
Oprah Winfrey.
Okay, so when you hear all of these things, and then you start saying, see, this is the treatment of the Black actress. It's nothing new. It's nothing new that the trailers are subpar. It's nothing new that either the food is subpar or there's no food at all. That's nothing new. So when Oprah Winfrey sits at the helm and Taraji P. Henson says, it's an honor that we were handpicked. We were handpicked for this movie. Well, if they were handpicked for that movie, those women should have been taken care of from the moment go.
Right.
There's no way they should have walked up and there were no trailers. There's no way there was no food. And then when you hear Oprah say, but when Taraji called me, what did I do, Taraji? Lady O fixed it. When Taraji called Oprah, what happened was, James, Oprah got caught. That's what happened.
And if you look up the title of producer and what it is a producer's job is, you'll find that what Oprah fixed should have already been prepared when they got.
We need to start having honest conversations in our community about the welfare of Black people and how we are going to uplift each other, right? I don't want it to sound like an attack to one person, but also when the community supports you, they're supporting you because they like you, but they're supporting you with the full knowledge that having one of them in those rooms means advocacy. These are just the things that we heard from Taraji's mouth. I'm sure there's so many other untold stories that she has that she might never tell until she retires, or might take them to the grave just for the sake of what is left of her career, because also nobody wants to work with an actress who's deemed difficult. Can you imagine? We're not doing right by Black people. We're not doing right by Black actors, and I'm sure this is something that trickles down in the workforce. We're not taking care of each other, and that has to change. That has to change. We are running this race, one hand already behind the back and one eye is blind. The people who have the other eye cannot be blind as and when it suits them. They have to see they're the light of the community. So that is why on this, I am with Monique. Whose side are you on? Or what school of thought do you gravitate towards? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Like this video, comment down below what your thoughts are, share it with a friend, and come over to my YouTube channel where I profile Africa through people, politics, and culture. The name of the channel is New Dawn Africa Channel. I'll see you again next time.